Multiple subjects neutralized.
I'd buy that for $1.
Alright, how you going? It's Micah the Geek here to do a review, my very first review of a game that has come out this year. And that game is none other than RoboCop Rogue City. Now for those who don't know who RoboCop is, well, let's wind back the clock to 1987 of its official release date. The movie, that is. It's the future in a crime-riddled Detroit around 2043. The 80s take of the future, that is. You have the main protagonist, Alex Murphy, a police cop who moves to Detroit, and it's his first day on the job at the Detroit police force. And what a first day for him. He gets shot up to smithereens. It's pretty darn violent. Alex gets his arm blown off and gets shot up multiple times, probably around 30 times. And one more shot to the head just to confirm the kill.
Kill confirmed.
Now imagine an 8-year-old kid seeing this for the first time. And that kid was me. Now before you start complaining going, where are your parents and why were you watching this? Well, RoboCop in the 90s was rated PG or PG-13, so it's not overly violent. It was aimed for a more tamer, family-oriented, kinda, I guess.
Surprise! What the hell is even that?
They were also trying to sell toys to kids. Possibly adults, I don't know. But, heck, I'd buy it if I could. I'd buy that for $1. I don't know, but I'm here as an adult, playing RoboCop, wishing I still had my figurines and RoboCop cars still. But anyways, my parents thought it was just another RoboCop movie at our local video rental shop. My parents went out that night, and my older brother was babysitting me in another room, while my sister was doing girly shit in another. And here I am, in the family room, watching RoboCop. Now this movie has got violence, language, drugs, sex, and nudity. The best a movie can get. And I was hooked from start to finish. Me also knowing that this movie probably wasn't good for me. I didn't say a single word to my parents because I was too scared shitless to tell them. I just said it was a cool movie, and nothing happened from there. But after that, actually, I did get some toys of RoboCop from my parents. RoboCop also had a couple of video games back then on the Genesis. You got RoboCop vs Terminator, and you also have the PS2 version, which I had no idea about. But anyway, we have been blessed with a new RoboCop game, living up to the original series that was. And by golly, did they nail the atmosphere, the feel, the look, the mood, and the sound. And I'm extremely impressed what the developers did. The developers behind RoboCop Rogue City are Tayon, the same developers that did Rambo.
That's bad.
And Terminator Resistance.
That's good.
Now I played this game twice on the PlayStation, on normal and then on hard, to see if there's any significant changes in the difficulty and gameplay, and didn't really see much changing. Difficulty wise, it wasn't too over the top, it was pretty easy still. And the game runs on 60 frames per second, pretty much the whole experience except for nearing the end, where it started to stutter just a little bit, but not enough to go f you. This game's unplayable, unlike other games I tried this year. Star Wars. Star Wars.
What the fuck, dude? You're gonna act like that was a cough?
RoboCop is running on the Unreal 5 engine, which a lot of developers are using nowadays, and I have to say, it's a pass for me graphically. Stunning from the very start, as soon as you see the iconic thud on the ground with RoboCop's foot, like you see in the iconic film. There are a lot, and I mean a lot, of references to the movie, which is fantastic. You want fans or players to believe that they are in the same world as the original film. From RoboCop starting up the car, spinning the tyres, and running up the ramp, getting some good old sparks from underneath the car. You also have the CRT monitors, the old school dial phones, the buildings, the fashion, the music. It just really sets the mood to the original RoboCop film. You also have beautiful reflections from the puddles. Now, for someone like me, I don't go absolutely spastic when it comes to reflections. I don't stop in my tracks and just stare at the ground and just slowly pan around to see what's going on. Because you're going to see all the imperfections in the reflections, so yeah, if that's going to stop you from playing the game, don't play the freaking game. Some people out there will bitch and moan about it.
All right. Are you done with this circle jerk, huh?
But again, graphically, for me, the game is nice to look at. It's not an eyesore. It's a beautiful sight for sore eyes. Gameplay-wise, it's good. It's not Call of Duty. It's not Doom. It's not fast-paced. You're not running around, jumping around, flying through the air. I must stress to you, you are RoboCop. RoboCop is not fast. He's a walking battle tank. You literally have to walk everywhere. You can power walk, I suppose, but you are walking throughout the whole game. It can be annoying at certain parts of the game, especially when you're free roaming around Detroit City, doing little objectives here and there.
I am collecting signatures on a get well card for Lewis.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
But when you're in shootouts with enemies, it is so satisfying just walking around, just easily mowing down enemies as you see bits of the environment being destroyed, as you soak up all of their bullets that they shoot at you. I cannot remember the last time I played a game with a lot of destruction like this. Maybe Battlefield 4 and Red Faction Guerrilla Black on the Xbox. You can also walk up to enemies and grab them by the neck and use them as a human shield, or just throw them around like a ragdoll. I mean, I frequently threw enemies out the window in the air and try to shoot them in the hairy beanbags. And also through the walls. And also shoot them in the hairy beanbags.
Oh, dude, you shot him in the dick. Huh? That's not cool, Butters. You don't shoot a guy in the dick.
Along with all the destruction, you can also blow limbs off the enemies. And it is so satisfying, as messed up as that sounds. You shoot them in the arm, their arm blows off. You shoot them in the leg, and their leg is blown off. You shoot them in the head, and their head's blown off. You shoot them in the hairy beanbags, and by golly, they will go for their hairy beanbags. Because RoboCop likes to shoot people in the dick.
Oh, move, creep.
God damn it, Butters! What did I say about shooting guys in the dick?
You can also shoot barrels near enemies and they'll completely get blown to pieces. You'll also see blood and guts scattered all over the walls, like a frickin' Picasso. And like I said, it's awesome when you're in a shootout. You really don't have to go to cover. You're pretty much a bullet sponge. But don't get me wrong, you do have to hide every now and then, like when you're reloading your gun. If you do stand there, you will eventually die. It just takes a while for you to die, really. Enemies will continuously throw grenades at you. Yeah, and they will throw grenades like there's no tomorrow. Shoot the grenade in their hand, and they'll get blown to pieces. Now the game is very similar to Deus Ex Mankind Divided. It's a similar vibe and atmosphere, and very static. And what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of the NPCs in the game don't do a lot. They just stand there. Feels rather lifeless. Also when you interact with them too.
You do not believe that.
The only time they move is when you're in combat. The lip sync in the game is rather off too. The only character that is perfect for this is, of course, RoboCop.
The moral is, stay away from fishy activity.
Because, you know, he's a robot. Or a cyborg, whatever you want to call it. There will also be sections of the game where you will be doing little side objectives that don't involve any action whatsoever. Whether finding people or telling civilians to stop doing naughty things in the city. You can also do little dance moves for namesake. You can also have consequences on your actions too. Not game changing, just little different outcomes. Whether you find people or don't save them or kill them, of course.
See ya!
You can also upgrade tech on RoboCop from combat, armor, engineer, focus, and so on. There's a little tree where you can upgrade all of RoboCop's perks when you gain experience points. Each upgrade have their own perks, from having stronger armor, quick dashes, slowing down time or what you call reflex mode or bullet time, and so on. In the skill tree also, when you buff up your armor set, when people start shooting at you, the bullets reflect off RoboCop and actually inflict against them or other enemies, which is pretty cool. As you're walking around, you see bullets flickering off you, and it's hitting the enemy. Pretty cool. You gain experience points from defeating enemies, completing objectives, and finding little things as you explore the city. You also have the ability of upgrading RoboCop's gun by putting in little nodes in the motherboard to make the gun faster to reload, hold more ammo, or make it more destructive. You also have unlimited ammo on RoboCop's main gun, and to be honest, you probably won't need to change the gun whatsoever, because I don't recall changing the gun much in the game. You can also use other guns in the game, of course, such as the Desert Eagle, or Heavy Pistol, however you want to call it, the AK-47, shotguns, and machine guns. But again, I just mainly stick to his main gun. It kicks ass, and it's badass. There are different enemies in the game as well. You have your bikers, your grenaders, your snipers, kaboomers, which are guys that literally run at you with a flaming barrel and explode on impact, and your merc leaders, which are just heavily armored troops. Now the story, I'll try not to spoil it. I'll do my best, but don't trust me on it. You have Peter Weller reprising his role as RoboCop, or voicing him technically, or what do you call it, voice acting. He's voice acting as RoboCop.
Drop it, scum.
Anyway, you also have RoboCop's sidekick, Anne Lewis. Sounds quite close to her too, which I'm pretty impressed with, and looks like her too, but anyway. You also have Sergeant Reed.
Get back in line.
A new character called Max Becker, and also RoboCop's psych, shrink, or therapist, however you want to call it, Olivia Blanche. Then you have the antagonist, Torchhead leader, Soot, the Bikies leader, Spike, and Wendell Antonowski, who is actually brothers to Emil Antonowski. If you don't know who that is, have a look at this guy. This guy that gets absolutely squished to pretty much paste. Now, is it a big deal? No, it's not, but it's pretty cool. It's a little nod to the past characters in the series. And then you have also RoboCop 2. Now, who is it that's piloting RoboCop 2? Well, I ain't telling. If you want to find it, you can find that out yourself. But again, it's awesome seeing it return in the series. So the game initially takes off not long after the events of RoboCop 2. Nuke, which is a highly addictive drug, is still on the streets, and crime is at an all-time high. In a group called the Torchheads have broken into the Channel 9 building to broadcast a deal that they want to do with the new guy, Wendell Antonowski. And while this happens, you take control of RoboCop and try to take care of the situation by shooting down whoever is in the building. And holy shit, the first mission, or prologue, however you want to call it, of the game, it's pretty freaking cool. As you make your way through the building and shooting your way through, also when you're shooting up the lobby in the first mission, you encounter the RoboCop theme tune as well.
Write the theme tune, sing the theme tune.
And yeah, it's pretty cool. I got a couple of tingles going up and down my spine. I got little goosebumps hearing the RoboCop theme tune playing in the background.
I'll be so good for you. Do 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 boo.
As you make your way through the lobby, shooting up everyone, and then making your way to the elevator and going up a set of floors to make your way through the building. But halfway through the mission, RoboCop gets a little knock on the head and starts encountering his past memories of Alex Murphy, where he hears his wife and son. At the end of this mission, he is in a hostage situation where he pictures his wife as the victim and freezes, and while this happens, a news reporter is filming it in the background. The hostage is killed by Lewis. Sorry, not the hostage. The guy that's taken the lady hostage is killed by Lois, RoboCop's teammate. And after that, there is an investigation why RoboCop is glitching out because everyone's starting to freak out because they can't trust him anymore. One of the main characters in the game is Max Becker, an executive of OCP. Now, I think you're supposed to hate this character because he is the one trying to get RoboCop offline, as he has a new prototype to take over. But I love him. He's just a cliche 80s greedy, narcissistic guy, saying some funny lines along the way.
Now, you leave. Bitches, come!
He is forced to bring along a therapist, Olivia Blanche, to find out what is going on with RoboCop. Throughout the game, you take down gangs and their leaders while trying to find out who is the new guy and where he's getting all this money and tech and all this crap from. Eventually you find out who he is and where he is getting all of his resources from. A bit disappointing because you don't actually kill him. Well, technically you do, but it's during a cutscene, which is pretty shit.
Now there is trouble.
But the final boss, which is RoboCop 2, is pretty cool, as you're fighting it inside the OCP building, from the top floor to the basement to the main lobby. Just smashing and crashing your way through, and then you finish the game on a high note. Now, little things in the game that impress me a lot is when you hear RoboCop's footsteps as you're walking around, shooting up everyone, or just walking around the streets of Detroit. In one of the missions too, you encounter Ed 209, and you have a little trial against it, or a little battle against it, where whoever shoots the most people wins. If you do beat Ed 209, you get a little bit more experience points that you can throw on to your little skill tree that you get. Pretty fun battle, because you get to hear Ed 209 talking as he's shooting up everyone. Or sorry, as it's shooting up everyone. After that little battle also, Ed 209 glitches out.
Please put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
Situation is under control.
You now have 15 seconds to comply.
Stand back.
I'll do one better, cop. I'm out of here.
You now have 5 seconds to comply. 4,
I said
3,
everything is under control.
1.
Ed,
I have
stand
now
there.
authorized to use physical force.
Ed 209 glitches out and starts attacking you, and you have a boss fight against Ed 209. And it's pretty cool because you're constantly just throwing barrels at him, shooting little obstacles to throw things on him, throwing barrels, shooting it in the face, whatever you can do to destroy Ed 209. Now, hats off to the developers again for referencing Ed 209 shooting up someone, and also referencing one of the Delta City tables that were used in RoboCop. Now, is the game good? Yes. Now, I am cheating a little because I am a RoboCop fan, and I still watch the original and maybe RoboCop 2 if I'm up to it. So this game already gets an automatic pass from me. But is it a game to play for someone who doesn't know anything about RoboCop? I don't know. The game isn't perfect, don't get me wrong. It has its moments with glitches and slow pacing here and there. But if you're watching this and you're really curious, well, you've just answered your own question. Go get it. It's an awesome game. For me though, I'll give it an 8. 8 dicks. 8 out of 10 dicks. And RoboCop's shot 2 of those dicks, so there's 8 dicks left. So I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. It's a game I'll go back to in the future, no doubt about it, and reminisce on it because, yeah, I still love to reminisce on RoboCop and what was. I felt like I was in the original classic, and unfortunately, we're not seeing any more RoboCops anytime soon, except for the recent one, but the recent one wasn't too fantastic. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and yeah. And there's some more reviews coming up shortly, but if you're new to this channel, make sure to like and subscribe like I just said. And there's some other videos here and there that I review. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my review, a very late review of RoboCop Rogue City. And yeah, other than that, I'll see you next time, and happy gaming. Ciao. Oh yeah. And stay out of trouble.